Don Gregory coming to you from the magnificent first floor studios of the Southwestern proud University Pirates Sports Information Department. The wonderful Elizabeth Swan back behind the camera, and very, very honored today to be with Peter Robertson. Swimmer, California resident, I believe, Peter, is that correct? So, so we're just going to have a conversation, Peter. You know what the rules are of the street fight today. It's two guys talking, hanging out, sharing some fellowship, some friendship, and let's just have a good time, just sharing a conversation. So, you good for that?
Sounds good.
Sounds great. And I also wanted to, we're starting something new today. I wanted to kick out a real loud shout to the wonderful group in our athletic training room. So I brought some underwrap and some tape, and for those of you who don't know, this is Tough Skin, which they spray so the tape doesn't come off. And I don't know if y'all swimmers use that or not, Peter, but if you're injured, so. Okay, well, give the massive global audience a little bit of your background. How is it you came to Southwestern? Just off you go.
Well, I'm from a small town in Southern California called Mission Viejo. Basically, when I was looking at schools pretty much out of state for swimming, but I came here and it was very similar to California. I really liked it. Coach Duncan is a really cool guy.
Great guy.
And so, yeah, rest is history.
There you go. And I know the first time I met you, I think, I didn't even know who you were on the planet, I think, and which is another very cool part of my job, as I've said before, but I think it was admissions. And you were back behind the desk ready to do a tour. You went, hey, you call me Greg's or something. I was like, oh my God, I don't know this guy yet. But finally we met and you said, I'm going to take this tour. It's like, that guy is so cool. So another situation at Southwestern University where somebody gets in an environment where somebody goes, that dude looks cool, and he looks back at you, well, you look kind of cool. So, and here we are. So it's great. So, but tell all the other things you do on campus. Obviously, the admissions tour guide. How did you fall into that, Peter? Besides having a dynamic, charismatic personality, I guess. But
just one of the seniors I knew last year was a tour guide, and he just told me about a position opening up, so I applied and I got it.
Good.
But it's a really cool group. We all just love Southwestern and want to share, you know, our story, especially to prospective students. But it's a really cool job, and our boss is really cool too. Dana's awesome.
Oh, Dana's great, and
absolutely.
She has the California area, I think, doesn't she? So yeah, very good, very good.
For sure.
So, okay, so they recruited you. You went to them. How did that work out?
I just went to them and applied, and
Nice.
got accepted in their little family.
Yeah. Well, of course, I do this. I'm going to reveal a secret, which y'all probably know anyway. But if I see admissions tour guide around, I always say, you're the best. And I tell the group, that's the best tour guide on the planet.
Absolutely.
So I know they all put Greg's. You probably tell that to everybody. I do, but that's okay.
It's our personal hype man.
But y'all smile anyway. So,
oh, yeah.
But it's good. So, and obviously, do you plan to go into communications down the road? Or how do you think you might use that down the road?
Well, I want to be a swim coach at the university
cool.
level.
Yeah.
So, communicating things to groups of people is definitely an important skill to have. So
Awesome.
It's good to practice it a few times a week.
Yeah, and if I could kick out a shout to the great Adam Winkler, who was a baseball player here in the past and was the voice of the Longhorns for Channel 5 in Austin, and is now on the East Coast. A great guy, but
That's so cool.
But he always said, the Winks always said that one of the great strengths he learned from being a tour guide, which you might use, is how to use your voice.
Yeah.
That you feel you're losing them, or I got to talk a little softer. That kid in the back's not buying it, so I got to bring him in somehow.
Yeah.
So all those things, obviously, for a sports broadcaster, but for you as a coach as well. Which kid do you bark at? Which you have to, whatever. But off you go. So, and if I may say, the great Elizabeth Swan told me they're actually coaching her oldest. Your daughter, right? Is that it?
Youngest.
Oh, youngest.
Yeah,
Okay.
youngest little Alex.
Yeah. So how's that been?
Oh yeah, it's been really cool. Over the summer, I coached for the local summer league swim team, which Alex is a part of. But yeah, it's just a really cool experience, especially with the little ones. You really see the progression from basically them floundering in the water to actually being able to, swim a lap, which is really cool.
Very cool.
It's a long, painful process, but we get there. We get there.
There you go. And just that smile you had right there, I'm sure you do that with the kids, and every single one of them probably absolutely love you and enjoy being out there with you. Because if I may say, Peter, and I say this as a comment, you're like 78% kid as well. Could we agree on that?
Never grow up.
That's I'll give you bones on that one. The real world is overrated, folks. So
for sure.
Hold on to it as long as you can, Peter.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but then also Megan obviously told me how wonderful you are with the kids and everything, so she was bragging on you. I'm very, very happy that you're, Alex's swim coach, so that's a good thing. So fill us in a little bit more. College coach, high school coach, stay at the club. How do you see yourself doing that?
Definitely college, because a lot of grad schools will offer what's called a graduate assistant position. So basically, you're an assistant coach for the swim team, and then they give you free tuition to their grad school, which is a cool. So you get a master's degree, and you basically it's like a full-time internship of coaching.
Nice.
So it's a really cool system.
So obviously a very smart person as well. If I can get something freebie, then off I go.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
That's that SU education right there. That is a Pi Dea moment.
100%.
If dollars and cents are involved, and you can go cheaper. But,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if I may, I hope I say this right, Peter. But again, seeing Peter at the admissions building and so on and so forth, and again, I don't know if you know that I was a master swimmer for a while. And I probably have the least likely swimming body on the planet. So I wore as big a pair of shorts as I could find to try to cover up this stumpy, whatever it is. But you, Peter, if I may say, I mean, when God designed a sprinter, I assume you're a sprinter, correct?
Mid-distance.
Mid-distance, yeah.
Listen.
I mean, if Peter were to stand up today, he is like an arrow. And I know strong and everything, but it's like, I bet when you dive, you're 2/3 of the way down the pool.
I mean, the height definitely helps. But I get it from my father. I'm all legs. Like, all legs. My torso is tiny.
Okay.
But if you look at Michael Phelps, he looks like an ape.
Oh.
You know, he's got tiny little spindly legs.
Yeah.
So kind of unfortunate there, but the height definitely does help.
Well, I was going to say Phelps. I love when he does his warm. Like,
oh yeah.
The right hand is like scratching his left ear to go.
Yeah.
I see why he does 3 strokes and he's already at the end of the pool. So,
100%.
So you've seen yourself though develop over your 4 years at SU, I guess. Senior year, right?
Junior.
Junior. Okay. So over the 3 years, you feel you've developed. You feel like, okay, I got this now. This is my race, or I got my strategy. Talk a little bit about that. How you've developed as a swimmer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming in here, you're kind of everything's new, and especially you go from the top of the food chain in high school to the bottom of the food chain.
Yep.
So it's a big adjustment process, especially with lifting, because I mean we never really did that in high school.
Sure.
But especially, I mean, Duncan, now we do specialty training, so you really kind of find your niche.
Yep.
Per se, but especially like the 200 freestyle is really my best event, and like
nice.
Last year at conference we broke the 800 freestyle relay record.
There you go.
So
nice.
I guess that's kind of improvement.
More to break, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think it's great timing for this. Peter, again, proud member of the men's swimming team. I know the women's are also incredibly cool people. Dedicated, focused. It seems like the whole swim program is just getting after it, But they just started. The swim program has just started. Week 4, morning workouts on us. So how do you juggle that? Up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then hitting the pool, and Duncan going crazy with. We're going to swim all that, but okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you juggle that with the time and the early morning and everything else? And
the early morning is actually pretty helpful because you're up and about doing things. But honestly, it's just time management. I honestly kind of find it nice because you only have like this hour and a half to 2 hours to do homework and things like that. So your time is already blocked out for you, so it kind of does the work for you.
Yeah, very cool. And it's a great group, isn't it? I'm sure you walk into the pool deck, even if you're a little groggy, maybe not quite awake yet, seeing your teammates, getting the smell of the chlorine,
Oh yeah, for sure.
The air vents are going. It's like, all right, this is home for me, baby. So.
Oh yeah, that time of little pool deck is definitely home. But especially the thing we really hammer home with recruits is we're a family.
That's right.
Like some of the other sports on campus, the men and women's team, they practice separately.
Yeah.
But the men and women, we practice together.
Together.
Yeah, and so it's really a cool dynamic.
Sure. Especially at conference, like screaming your guts out and yelling for them, and they're yelling for you, and it's very cool.
The thing we tell the freshmen is the most hype you will ever get in college swimming is that last relay at conference, because it's the last day. But just the entire season's work is going into that moment, and everyone's just on the sidelines cheering their hearts out.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know it, but I was a Kenyan grad, and obviously not a swimmer, but the great success that Kenyans have. But all the swimmers would also say that.
Oh yeah.
Especially when that last relay is coming. Hey, we win, we're in. This, and it's just like there's so much riding on it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And inside is just crazy. So let's get off the deck a little bit, Peter. Give us something to the viewing audience that they might not know about you. In other words, you bake cupcakes every Thursday night or something. So give us a little bit of Peter Robertson. They go, oh man, I didn't know that dude did that.
I will. So where I grew up in California, I lived right next to a nature preserve.
Okay.
And so tons of trails out there and stuff. So literally, like every weekend, me and my friends just go out mountain biking or hiking in there. So I've done a lot of exploring around Lake Georgetown.
Cool.
Went out to Inks Lake, which is about an hour east of here, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Just love being outdoors.
Cool. Camper too, I would take it, or
not quite.
Okay.
Not
fair
that
enough.
extreme.
Rather
hours
have
is enough.
Yeah, rather have like the niceties as opposed to out in the
yeah.
tent, mosquitoes, and all that
Absolutely.
stuff. So, well, very cool. So you have found that it's easily accessible in Georgetown. You can go out and pedal on the bike and the lake and everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, very cool.
Georgetown does really well.
Very cool. Well, as we always try to do as well, Peter, do you have any questions of me? I know, obviously, I guess I get to sit in the chair or whatever, but this is supposed to be a conversation, so if you want to shoot something back to me. If not, that's okay. But
what's your favorite memory from a soccer game? Other than getting yellow card from Trinity.
Yeah, but I always get one from them, which is very ironic. And we will not mention anything about the referees or the coach or so on and so forth. But it's kind of funny that all the I'll say it, all the spinning that goes on there, then I get one for trying to stick up for our team. But that's okay. I will gladly take it because I think the guys know I have their back and I want to fight for them. But man, way too probably many unbelievable memories. But
first one comes to mind.
Okay, here it is. Okay, so when I first came, '98. We had 18 players. That's when I had my knees, and I was more fit than probably 14 of them because I used to run with a team.
No way.
Oh, yeah. And I did this one thing where I told, if I beat anybody, you're cut. And there were two guys in goalkeeper shirts, and there was a goalkeeper that was way back behind me. And I'm like, you need two goalkeepers, even if the 16 field players are. So I went in, and I couldn't go back on my word right away, but I did one of these, loop back around. I won't mention the young man's name, but went back to him, come on, you can do this. And he's like, so I could say I let him beat me. So, of course, all the players are, that was kind of weak. It's like, okay, I'll own it, but I need your two goalkeepers. But at any rate, so we were horrible. We only won 6 games the first year, but after that we started winning, and it was great, but we had always struggled on the road. So we got up to play Rose-Hulman DePaul, which was a very, very tough weekend, former SCAC. And we nicked Rose-Hulman, first time we ever beat Rose-Hulman on the road, and we were going up to play DePaul. And of course they're stoked, and I wanted to make sure they were locked in. So I went, okay, put a soccer ball in the midfield of the soccer field. Said, all right, sophomore, seniors over here, juniors, freshmen over there. Need a center, need a quarterback. NCAA overtime football. And they're looking at me like, you've lost it. No, come on. We're playing football. We got DePaul tomorrow. Play football. So we played football. And some of the guys had played high school football. So we did it, huddled up, beat DePaul on the road, and we started a long series of, that year we won, 2003, we won 4 of the 5 on the road, which we had never done before in the SCAC. Awesome. Got our rear ends handed to us absolutely. In fact, when we played Trinity, it was for the conference championship. 2,000 people, 2008 to be exact, which they got on film. I mean, it was rocking. It was 4-0 at the half. We were absolutely obliterated. And if I may say, this is kind of a long story. So the field's up here. We took them down to the hill. I said, what do I tell them? What do I tell them? So part of the 2008 was a bunch of kids. So they're running around. They're kicking on goal. It's like 1,000 on 3, and there are 4 kids in the goal, and it was awesome. So I said, guys, 4-0 is very difficult to come back from. I'm still very proud of you. You put yourself in this position. But you all stand up, look in the field, and remember where you started. It was a kid's game. You love playing. So play like that the second half. And they went, that sounds good. Because I'm not going to, 5 goals at Trinity against me. But again, we left it at 4-0, and they played the rear ends off. So proud of you guys. Took second that year for the first time ever in program history. 4 out of the 5 wins on the road, and it was like, so I would say that was awesome. Based more on the youth, like you talk about the youth swimming and everything. It was like, because you're still a kid, so you might as well compete like it was. And even though obviously you got the records and this and that. So does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great question though. Really love that question. So, all right, so ladies and gentlemen, worldwide viewing audience. And Megan, as we always do, Elizabeth Swan, any new affiliates for today that I should have mentioned? Or
finally just got Round Rock on board.
We finally got Round Rock. We had been in Afghanistan, Russia, Pakistan, Nairobi, but Round Rock finally tuned in. Well, we welcome all the Dragons and all the other people down there. But ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Peter Robertson. And if you don't know Peter yet, please go up and say hi to him on campus. Wish him best of luck. Sorry, majoring in? Kinesiology, right? And wish them luck to start the swim season. Kick out a shout. I know you got some meets coming up.
Oh, yeah.
First meets. So.
Meet tomorrow, Friday, against Colorado College. I think 3 p.m. And then on Saturday, we're swimming in Centenary at 11 a.m.
Very good.
So come out and watch us cream them.
The great Peter Robinson. So go Pirates.
Absolutely.